Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another episode of Bill Has Opinions, where we're just biding our time for the next hour. I am Laura Lavoie, and I'm here with Bill Perkins, who has opinions.
Yeah, I got them for sure.
We are actually in the same location.
I know, it's crazy. And I was thinking about that on the way over here. Like, I feel like it's been forever. Because also not just that we were in the same room together, but I mean, like, even, we've just been, our schedule's been so erratic over the winter.
Right.
With things going on.
And yeah, I think the last time we were actually, exactly. This is it's not our first show this year, but it's the first time we've been live in person in the same place.
Wow. Yeah.
So the last time we did that was around Christmas time, and then there were illnesses, and then there were vacations, and it started with Christmas, right? Like, we took some time off at Christmas, and then we literally had to take almost the entire month of January off.
Oh yeah, because there was like weather, and then there was COVID, and then there was COVID, and then there was weather, and then we've all vacations and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I guess you guys go on vacation next week?
Yeah, so this is a real quick show right here.
Big tease.
And then we're going to be off for another week.
But then, I guess, ideally, like, after that, we'll probably settle into some sort of
regular routine.
Yeah. Will happen.
I sure hope so. Yes. Spring has sprung. So.
Apologies and thanks for sticking around, everybody, if you're still doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least one of you is. So thank you for joining us. But anyway, welcome. So What have you been, because we were off the last 2 weeks, what have you been doing? I know you had a big adventure.
We went on a little trip down to New Orleans, and the entire Gulf Coast, really. Like, I saw things that woof. I'm talking about Mississippi.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So, crazy stuff down there.
Yeah.
You know what Mississippi did not do was change my prejudices about it. I had a preconceived notion about Mississippi, and I have to say it lived up to it.
That's fair. I've been to Mississippi. I think we've driven through Mississippi, but I think I've been there.
It's a good place to drive through, I'd say.
I've stopped in Mississippi all at once.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now I can say I have too.
It's a place you can go.
It's definitely one of the states.
But we don't need to get into, because otherwise we'll have a whole show about this. But you had all kinds of adventures. Like, Bill was telling us about a ghost and vampire tour he did in New Orleans.
Spooky.
Maybe we'll talk about New Orleans at Halloween time.
We can revisit it sometime.
Yeah.
Or we'll roll it into some damn thing. We'll find a theme and we'll talk about it.
We will indeed.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah. No, and I've been working, and Matt just took the bar exam. Yay, Matt.
Yeah. What did he drink?
What did he drink during the bar exam?
I've always thought it was a damn shame that lawyers get the bar exam and not people who are like mixologists. Like, that should be the bar exam.
That's true. I know at school there was like a club that had something to do, like, they called the bar review. But it was a social drinking club for law students. I always thought that was great.
Yeah. That's a good name. I like that.
All right. So you just finished.
What am I finishing?
What do you finish? What did you just down?
Hooray, beer. I had a Red Stripe, which I purchased this in Mississippi at the Dodge's Chicken, which is a gas station that sells chicken. No, it wasn't Mississippi. Sorry, I bought this. No, that was in
Alabama.
No, I got this in Southern Florida, which is East Alabama.
Yeah.
I like to say.
Right.
No, that was at Fort Walton Beach. We stopped for the night. It was too cold in Florida. That the beginning of the trip, there was a cold front that had come in, and it hit the whole damn country. Really, like.
Yeah, it was really cold here.
It didn't matter where you were at. Pensacola was cold as shit. It was all cold. Thankfully, it warmed up the following day. But anyway, I had stopped at this fried chicken / gas station. Out of morbid curiosity, we smelled it from when we drove past, and we were hungry. And it turns out, actually, we tried to go to 3 other restaurants, and and there was queues, and it was like an hour away. We said, all right, let's just go to the gas station and smell the chicken at. And it was okay, but the chicken had been there for a while. Like, it wasn't fresh chicken. It probably would be great if you go at lunchtime. I'm sure it's a great place to go for chicken.
Right.
But at 9 o'clock at night, probably not so much. But because they were a gas station, they also had Red Stripe. So I bought a 6 of that.
All right.
And,
all right.
Because, they're little short bottles, and they're, they don't spill as easily.
Well, that's true. They do not. And we're actually going to Florida. That's one of our points of visitation on this trip.
Where are you going?
Ocala. So
We
nowhere
went to
near the
Ocala
ocean.
last year. Yeah. You going to the
World Equestrian Center? That's where we're going.
the World Equestrian Center.
Yeah, it's in Ocala. Ocala is apparently one of the largest horse areas in the country.
Okay, well, they've also got some kind of springs
Oh.
with manatees and shit.
Oh, then no, that isn't Ocala. Ocala is literally in the center of the state, nowhere near any oceans.
No, it's not. All right, well, maybe I'm confused. I could have swore
I think the springs are closer to
Silver Springs was near Ocala.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up, or somebody can look it up for
I
us.
could have swore we stopped in Ocala last year when we went through there. But anyway.
Yes, Silver Springs is the place. I don't know where it is in relation to Ocala, but
I think it's right outside of Ocala, if I'm not mistaken.
Ocala is just south of Gainesville, so it's very much in the middle of the state.
Okay, well,
So, right in the middle. But there's horses there, and we're going to see horses.
Seahorses.
No, just regular horses. Just land
You
horses.
said you're going to see horses?
Oh, I guess it is right outside. All right.
Yeah, go to that.
All right.
Go see it. See if you get the same guy as your boat driver that we did.
All right. All right. We will only be there for 2 days, so we may not be able to. But
Okay.
but yes, Heather will be waving to you from Florida. Oh, and they have monkeys. Horses, monkeys, manatees. Jesus, what doesn't Ocala have?
They don't have any rules about COVID. You can just walk in the place and cough all over everybody.
I imagine
they don't believe in it.
That will be the case. I've come to the conclusion that Americans in particular, but humans in general, have a real hard time with more than one crisis at a time.
Yeah.
So right
I
now,
don't got the wherewithal for that shit.
for all intents and purposes, COVID is over.
Oh.
We're dealing with a war in Europe, and we're just done. So
yeah, it's true. It's like, well, I got no more time for this. I will say I've noticed this about myself. In the morning, I get, and I'm going off track here. You feel free to roll that.
do we need to roll that footage right there?
Do it.
All right.
So I'm in the mornings. Every morning, I open up my email, my personal email, not my work email, and I get a load of things. A lot of them are like, "Hey, will you sign this petition for this, or will you donate $5 to this thing, or whatever?" And honestly, like, it's whatever. Like the first thing I hit really is okay. But I've got I like to say I got a finite amount of outrage, right? Like at some point you're just like, all right, I'm burned out now. I can't. Like,
Can't.
I saved the rainforests. And I want that cop to get fired, and now I'm done. Like it's all I got.
Exactly.
I don't have the brain capacity for it. Like whatever this other third thing is that you want me to complain about. Like
just can't.
I'm out.
Just cannot.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. They're testing bunny rabbits. Well, too bad for them. I'm done.
Again. Well, I have a sort of generic IPA going on right here, an all-day IPA, just to.
It's all day.
It is all day. This is technically my palate cleanser because you could open that too.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about this in a minute.
We have been gifted this toast from Gizmo Gizmo Beer Works, which is in Raleigh or Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So we're gonna try it.
Raleigh on the back there.
Does it say Raleigh?
I thought I read that somewhere. I thought I saw the word
No,
Raleigh.
it says Chapel Hill. Oh, they also have a tap room in Raleigh.
Oh, there we go. I knew I saw the word.
So,
either place. If you're in the triangle, you can go there.
We have been gifted this, and then we're just going to do like little tastings. But then, because this is sweet, we've got a peanut butter beer, a chocolate stout, and
you got all the flavors.
A sweet potato.
You're just going nuts.
Well, the truth is, like, we're getting past the point.
You're trying to use up all your winter beers.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're getting past the point where, like, dark sweet beers are
Sure.
good. So
Yeah, no, I get you.
just finish them up. It's the last day of February.
And I'm drinking a Copper from Old Mecklenburg out of Charlotte.
Ooh.
Copper is their, it says it's an alt beer.
It's kind of an amber.
It's an amber.
It's sort of a European style amber, I guess.
It is. It's a very nice flavored. I love it. It's got a little grainy texture to it that I love. Not texture.
Apparently,
flavor.
we need to go to Bagelicious. One of the things where it's by the Earth Fair. That's good to know.
She set me up with this nonsense last time. They keep funny hours and they're not open all week. She tried to get me to go there last year, and I was very disappointed because they were not open on the day that she sent me there.
Alas, one of the things we are doing is going to a tiki bar because, well, tiki bars are my jam. So,
yeah, they are.
And I'm going to like 3 tiki bars all the way on this trip because we're going to Atlanta, Ocala, and then Savannah. So we've got 3 tiki bars to hit there's one every place. All right.
Yeah, there's tiki bars all over the joint.
Let's open this fucker.
There was a tiki bar. I want to say there was a tiki bar somewhere in the part of Mississippi I was in, but I didn't.
There is a really famous one in New Orleans.
Okay, well I didn't go to that either.
Well, you should. Hey, babe, from the other room, if you want some toast, come on and get some.
Yeah, toast.
Yeah, toast. All right, we're gonna just do a little bit.
Just a little small pour there. It sounds.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
We know that. Where are you? Oh,
you ran off.
No, I don't have a glass for you. You're not on the show.
You get your own glass.
Get your own damn glass. You can take the whole crowler at this point.
Do me.
Well, no, just take the whole crowler. Say hi.
Special guest Matt, who just took the bar.
Oh, there's the camera. Hi.
He's our live studio audience. You can take the whole thing.
It's
huge.
Well, no, don't drink it all. Just take it.
Take it somewhere.
We don't need it here anymore.
We're gonna be fully live.
We got plenty. We're already fully live. To be honest.
I already had 2 beers before the show started.
Yeah, exactly. And we're already 12 minutes into the show. We haven't
started on what the damn show's about. So
all right, but should we taste this real quick?
Oh, I guess so.
Oh God, it smells like freaking French toast.
That's what it said. It said it was a French toast. Hey, that's pretty good, actually. I feel like I've had one from Southern Tier that's very similar to this, maybe. Or something like that. Like Southern Tier makes a lot of dessert beers.
Yeah, because they make that creme brulee that's super
they got
sweet.
A couple other ones.
Yeah, this is really good, and this would have been very, very good during the holidays.
Absolutely. Like I definitely around New Year's I could have drank the shit out of this. Mm-hmm. It's getting a little because the days are starting to get longer. And it's starting to warm up a little. Well, not enough, but
exactly. It
can get warmer.
That's true. Matt is gone now. But okay. All right. So we should actually start the show because we're almost at the station break already.
Really?
So
let's talk about this.
Let's talk about so today's topic, if you're not familiar, is a concept known as an eggcorn.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. My favorite eggcorn is grits and scrambled eggs. That's just fucking delicious.
To be fair, yeah. When you combine grits and scrambled eggs, that's a good flavor.
That's delicious egg corn right there.
All right, show over. We are done. There we are. All right, thanks everybody for joining us for another episode of Bill Has Opinions. No, all right. So real quick before I let Bill go into his monologue, to give you a little bit of a background, what an eggcorn is, and I will tell you why I brought this to the show, and I have it to. I will have a screen share a little bit later on in the show. Eggcorns are, so if you're familiar with malapropisms or even puns, where you use the wrong word to be funny, I don't mean to be self-defecating, but my outfit looks like crap today. So that's both a malapropism and a pun because it's intended to be funny. An eggcorn are wrong phrases that people don't realize are wrong and people keep using. For example, prima donnas. So the word is not before Madonna.
Right. It's like
prima.
Blondie was a prima donna, right?
Well, prima donna literally means an Italian first lady. It was the first lady of the opera. She was the prima donna was the star of the show. That's what it means. So it's definitely not a pre-Madonna. But I had a client once email that to me when I was working in staffing, that somebody I sent on an assignment was too much of a prima donna, and we had to end their assignment.
Oh,
I'm like, what? It took me a while to respond because I just couldn't even.
You were just livid. You were like,
what the hell is a prima donna?
I don't even. Oh my god. Well, I said Blondie. Blondie was a prima donna.
Oh, she was definitely prima donna. Yeah, for sure.
Chrissy Hind.
Yeah. There's definitely some prima donnas. So, all right. So I know that you've got some.
Oh, I've got.
thoughts.
Yeah. So, oh my god, this. I'm gonna get real Pacific here with you guys, and tell a story. We lived in this place, and we had these brilliant marble countertops. Right? They were so pretty, and we spent a lot of money on them, but people would come over and they would constantly take them for granted. We need the drum. We actually need Matt here with the drum set behind us too. Yeah, we should have a music director.
One day, you know what I should do is make a little bumper with just the.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what I should do. One of these. By next time, although we'll never have a joke for that again.
All right, or you'll have to be quick on the draw with it. That's the thing with that. Is you have to
That's true, and I have in the situation here, I have to switch.
You need a soundboard with that. Like you just need like a keyboard or something that you put here and hit the button.
That is true.
That
is true. Anyway, so yes, an Eggcorn is just a random. Okay, so one of the things I will show later on the show is that there's an Eggcorn database.
Yeah.
Where
I got another example. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell a story. So I used to work for a brief moment. I quit my job back in 2007-ish. I can't remember. 2006, 2007. I quit. I was working at a bank, big national bank.
Yes, big national bank. I
quit big national bank because I don't know. I just felt like it was a dumb job. They paid well and they gave me a lot of vacation days. And if I'd only known, I would have kept that job probably because I've never had so many vacation days in my life. plus, it's a bank, and banks just take days off for. Oh yeah,
just for fun.
They're I don't know. It's Founders Day. Let's just take the fucking Monday off.
You get every federal holiday, and then all.
That's what I'm saying. There were holidays I hadn't even heard of that we would be off. We would be like, oh, don't come in next Monday. Why not? And they're like, oh, because it's National Pizza Day or whatever. Okay, yeah, why not? So anyway, if I'd only known. Oh my God, I'd probably have 8 weeks of vacation if I'd stayed there at that job. But anyway, I digress. The point of my story is
I digest,
yes. The point of my story, after I quit the bank job, I tried to run my own company for a moment. Me and a friend, we started a company, a marketing company. We mostly sold T-shirts and keychains and tchotchkes, for business to business bullshit.
Right.
And when we were doing that, we used to joke a lot about how we had French benefits.
Yes, French benefits.
Because those were the only benefits we had, and they were actually French fry benefits, and that was that he had learned that if we went to lunch together and spoke about business, we could write off these French fries, and that was pretty much the only benefit I had for. While I had that job, and so we joked often about our French benefits.
Yes, no, French benefits. That's a good one. That's actually because again,
if you had real French benefits, what you'd have is 7 or 8 weeks of vacation, and you'd I don't know, free healthcare
and probably a mistress.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure.
This is a sidetrack story too, but we used to frequent a French tiki bar in our small suburb of Atlanta when we lived there the first time. And
it was just a place to meet your mistress?
Well, yeah, because the bartender was French, because they were all from Provence, and they were super, super freaking French. And his name was Stefan. And Stefan, one day he was in there, and we saw him hanging on this woman, and we're like, oh, Stefan, look, it's. And then the next night we were chatting, because we went in all the time. We're chatting with him, and he's like, yeah, my wife and I are having a hard time. And we're like, what? Dude, we saw you with your wife the other day. And he's like, oh, no, that's not my wife. I am French.
And that's why that's why me and my wife were having a hard time.
I am French. It was just explained with I am French.
I'm
like, then you are.
So is that, they're just Does that mean that they're like?
Yeah, that was apparently not the reason they were having a hard time. That was just
okay.
being French.
I see. So I mean, but we'll talk about that some other time on another topic.
So obviously, Eggcorns can evolve into malapropisms, right? So one of the most common, so Much Ado About Nothing, my personal favorite Shakespeare play. There's the Constable Dogberry, and throughout the show or throughout the play, he uses multiple malapropisms. In fact, they became known as Dogberryisms for a while. So, for example, our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious peoples. So, yes, that's so. Obviously, suspicious is the word they were looking at, not that, and comprehended. So, anyway, also there's a great example from President George W. Bush, bless his little heart. Apparently, in the 2000s, he at one point stated, "We cannot let terrorists and rogue nations hold this nation hostile or hold our allies hostile."
Yeah.
Good job, President Bush.
Because I mean, you really like because hostels they don't charge enough.
They do not. They really don't.
And you have to share the room with strangers.
Yeah. So and that I think is an example of a very special Eggcorn because he meant what he said. He just didn't know the difference.
Yes, that's true.
He legit didn't. All right. So before we get into some examples, let's just say something nice about some friends.
Okay.
Shall we?
Do it.
All right. So this week, just randomly decided to talk about Radiant Paw's Pet Massage. Our friend Jill does dog massage near Detroit, Michigan. So if your dog needs to be massaged, call Radiant Paws.
I got a dog that does need a massage, but I'm unfortunately not anywhere in the area.
Yeah. We need to get Jill down. I was with a friend today who has
she needs to take a business trip. She could write the whole damn thing.
Oh,
off.
absolutely.
If she massages enough dogs while she's down here, she could just write the whole trip off.
I could literally take her on a tour to massage dogs because I've got enough friends who are like, I want a dog massage.
My Pyrenees has got hip problems. She's it's cold this time of year.
And she's getting older.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
The colder it is.
Yeah.
I gotta give her some like CBD supplements or something.
Yeah. I also talked to Jill at one point because we have a dog bar just up the road here. And like if she did a presentation or something at the dog bar, like she just do like a talk about it.
Yeah.
And do like little it won't matter because obviously she can't stay and do more massages. But do like little example massages with people or show people how to do it themselves, that kind of thing.
Right. Or I mean, she could even like franchise the whole shit. If she puts her mind to it. If she wanted to do that,
teach someone.
She could teach her method, if you will, and then start. Somebody down here could make a mint with that shit because people in Asheville are like, we've got how many dog bakeries are there in Asheville?
More than
people bakeries.
Yeah, more than I can count for sure.
Like there are two people bakeries in Asheville, but there are 8 or 9. I don't know. Well, after COVID, there might not be as many, but there's still more than there were people bakeries, right? So that's what I'm going to say is like people.
Yeah.
I think there's also a place you can take your dog to wash them.
Oh yes, so soapy pup or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, like that. I'm just saying, like stuff for your dog is a big seller here. So
absolutely, I agree. Somebody should do dog massage down here, and I would like it if Jill moved down here because she's fun and I love her.
Yeah.
All right. So that is our story for Jill. Anyway, so Eggcorn. So let's just go through a few of the common ones, and then I'll share the Eggcorn database.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to skip that one. I opened the show with this one, a favorite. You're biting your time.
Yeah.
Are you biting your time?
No, I've never done that.
No. Obviously, the correct term is biting my time.
I only ever bite my thumb.
Yeah. Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
No, but I do bite my thumb.
We already did a Shakespeare episode.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just I don't know that tickles me.
Well, here's one that tickles me, and this one's actually been used in like a lot of pop culture because it is so funny. As a joke, is Doggy Dog World?
Yeah, is that? I feel like that was in probably a Snoop Dogg song at some point, right?
It may have been, and it's been in a bunch of TV shows where someone's like, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And they're like, no, the term is dog-eat-dog. And they're like, no, that's horrible. Why would the term be dog-eat-dog?
Well,
Why would a dog ever eat another dog?
it's because Icon has hot dog. You remember that?
It's true.
That's true. Dog eat dog, right?
I guess that.
Dog will eat a hot dog.
I guess so. When I was in elementary school, my elementary school principal played the guitar and sang. He was obviously not good enough to do that.
I'm sorry. Was there a Lutheran minister or something?
No, but that was what he did. So every elementary school, what's it called when you assembly? Every assembly, he would start. First, we would do our school clap. So we would do our school clap. And then he would sing this song, and I cannot find any reference to this song outside of my elementary school experience. But obviously, I spent 7, including kindergarten, 6 years listening to this song. It was a whole story about how dogs got ground up into sausages. Like, it was a whole, and he would just play it on the guitar like he's this happy folk singer. And I was absolutely traumatized by this.
Yeah.
And I cannot find any reference to the song, but I have very vivid memories of it.
That's, I do hate when that happens. When you have the strongest memory of a thing that like you're the only person on earth who has, because I have a fairly, I don't know, like a fairly good memory of certain things. Like if I've committed something to memory, let's just say, if I've committed it to memory, it is now in my head forever,
yes,
right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
So to that end, I have a second grade musical about American history. I've got it up here. Like I know the entire goddamn musical, right? And the sad thing about that is it's not like knowing all the words to Fiddler on the Roof, because nobody can commiserate with me. Like, if you know all the words to Fiddler on the Roof, you can find someone who you can like riff with, like,
yes,
who's like, oh yeah, that's my jam too, and you're like, if I was a rich man, but I know a musical that I'm the only person in the fucking world who knows,
right?
Like all the rest of my second grade class, they all forgot it.
Yeah.
And I'm the only person who has to walk around with this shit in my head the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And no one can commiserate, and it's just so I feel your pain on that.
Yeah, no, actually, I would like to make a call out. If anybody attended Grosvenor Elementary School in the 80s, please get in contact with me because of our principal. And now I would have been able to tell you his name like a minute ago, but now I cannot remember his name. But I remember the fucking song he played about dogs getting ground up into sausages.
That's just.
All right.
That's some sick shit.
All right, here's a good one for you.
Okay.
Scapegoat.
Oh yeah. I've I've never actually heard that. Sorry, yeah. I've never heard the scapegoat, but that's pretty funny.
But it's a good one,
it's
right?
Funny. Yeah, no, I like it. But
again, the best part about Eggcorns is there are things that people do use, like in fact, the next one is probably the one you know most.
Oh, yeah, because I actually have a validation for this one.
Me too, that I probably can't speak about on this show. But yes, a mute point.
So me and the same guy who I had the Fringe Benefits with when we had a company together, we would often talk about the mute point, because we would say, well, it's when there's no point in talking about it anymore.
Right, because now you're just mute. Exactly. Which, once again, that's how Eggcorns happen, right? Because it seems logical. Oh, you know what we never talked about is why it's called Eggcorn.
Why is it called an Eggcorn? I was wondering that myself.
Because Eggcorn is an eggcorn of acorn.
Oh, I saw you put acorns on the
So, and the reason it's used is because, again, it makes some logical sense.
And they look eggs with
it's an egg from a tree, and it makes more trees. So it's like an egg.
Okay.
I know, right?
Yeah. And also, I guess that makes sense because in the back in the day, so corn used to be a generic term for grain.
Right.
Back in the day, like you'd say barley corn or something,
Right.
And then it wasn't until the New World when we decided that maize was just going to be corn. That's corn, and nothing else is going to be corn anymore. That's going to be the corn.
And then everything else, yes. But yeah, corn was like just the name for like the seed pod at one point. Like,
right.
You have the barley corn.
Oh yeah, because they have peppercorns.
Yeah, you have peppercorns. Yeah.
Sure.
So
okay.
Yeah. But yes, mute point and
Mute
Eggcorns.
point. Yes.
Yes, I have a beloved family member that likes to use mute point, and every time they say it, I about come out of my skin. But
I was trying to remember. I knew there was something that you mentioned about.
I can't, like, it's the kind of family relationship where I cannot say anything, so I just let it go. But I just am behind the scenes. I'm like,
stop at that person's funeral, you're gonna mention it probably.
Please stop saying.
Because you're just gonna be like,
it's moot.
moot. I have to talk about this.
This is moot.
It's moot.
It's moot. All right. Another very popular one again. Pass mustard. Are we passing mustard?
Yeah, when you pull up beside another Rolls Royce,
sure,
and you say, "Pardon me, sir, but would you happen to have any Grey Poupon?"
Right, and then
they pass the mustard.
Exactly. And of course, which one do we want next of the sweet beers? Do we want chocolate, peanut butter, or?
I haven't finished my French toast. Hold on.
Well, okay. Do you want? But we'll finish it.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do some peanut butter here. These are okay if we don't finish them.
It's fine. Yeah. I'm actually technically on a diet, but tonight's gonna be my cheat night. I've decided.
Well, because
you've provided nothing here that it's on my diet. So.
Well, you get beer and pizza. That is
beer and pizza. I decided, like, you know what? I can't. Monday's just gonna be cheat night. Is what I decided.
That's fair.
That's it.
All right. Well, you get a reprise next week because we won't be here. So.
Oh, there is that. Yeah,
so you can eat healthfully.
I can move cheat night to Sunday or Saturday or something because I won't be here on Monday.
Right.
Very well.
Well, that's very peanut buttery. Okay. Okay. Another one. This was a good one that I found. An old wise tale.
Oh yeah.
So you've heard this thing, like, you don't go out in the winter without a hat, or you don't go out with wet hair.
You don't eat watermelon and drink milk together because it's poisonous.
Yeah,
that's what my grandmother would say.
That's an old wise tale. It's not an old wise tale, by the way.
Although, okay, to be fair though.
Exactly. The whole point of an Eggcorn is it still makes logical sense.
Well, I was going to say old wives' tale is very sexist, right?
Oh, of course it is. Yeah.
When you say it, you're dismissing. Like, that's just a bunch of fucking bullshit that old wives say, right?
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct.
So an old wise tale, well, it's not wise either, though, because it's largely it's bullshit. What you mean is it's bullshit that people have been saying so long that people believe it, right?
Correct. Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And then we talked about prima donna, which I will never forget that email that I got from this client. I wanted to call him a stupid client, but I assume he still exists, although he doesn't know who he is. Nor does he watch this podcast, frankly.
Well, thankfully. Because he'd be an ex-client now, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah. Well, thankfully. That was my staffing era. I haven't done that for 10 years. But
staffing guy, she's talking to you.
I am, because
prima donna.
It took me like 10 minutes before I could even stop laughing to respond to that email, because I was like, oh, honey, no, that's not what that is. Okay, here's another very popular one. Whirlwind.
People say that?
Yeah.
I've never heard that in my life.
Oh, I've heard it even on television as recently as
whirlwind.
Whirlwind. As opposed to whirlwind.
That sounds asinine.
Well, but it's true. And I'll show you all in a minute on the Eggcorn database. Like,
what the hell is a whirlwind? Like, that one actually doesn't make any sense. Like, some of them you can logic your way through them, and that's why, like the mute point. Like, there's a logic to it that makes you go, okay, that's what it. Like, why you decide that's what it is.
Right. For example, another one we have on the list is cold slaw.
Yeah, because it's served cold.
Right. So it makes the slaw is cold.
Yeah. Nobody eats warm slaw. That sounds disgusting as fuck. Right?
Warm slaw. Although, wouldn't that, like, German potato salad? Couldn't you call that a warm slaw?
I've never referred to a potato salad as a slaw.
I guess that's the question. So what technically is a slaw? What makes a slaw? Is it because I always assumed it was like,
I thought it had to be cabbage. I don't know. Like, if I ever had a slaw that wasn't. Like,
that's fair. But yeah, I guess the question is, what did the term slaw come from?
I don't know.
Is it just mean like a type of salad? Because frankly, a coleslaw is just a type of salad.
Yeah, it's just a cabbage salad, right? Like a I don't know. Like, yeah.
In which case, like, sauerkraut would also be a cold slaw. Cold slaw.
Well, no, because you can have warm sauerkraut. That's fine.
That'd be a warm slaw.
I actually warm sauerkraut up often if I'm serving it like on schnitzel or something.
Schnitzel or like a Reuben.
Yeah. Like I like the sauerkraut to be warm, but I don't want warm coleslaw. Like if you put warm coleslaw on my barbecue sandwich, I'd probably be upset.
True, but by the time you put it on the barbecue sandwich,
I guess it
starts to warm up a little
because it's on top of the hot meat, right?
Yeah, the meat is hot. Good. So here's another common one: for all intensive purposes. Right. We've all heard that one, right? The actual term is for all intensive.
How about all intensive porpoises?
All intensive porpoises. That seems very.
They're
very focused.
They're focused dolphins.
They're not dolphins or porpoises.
No, okay, they're very focused small whales.
Very small whales. Now this one actually, I had not heard this before I was doing research for this show, but it became one of my favorite ones. Was curve your enthusiasm.
I've never heard that either.
Or curve your hunger. So you need to curve your hunger. I guess because curb is like a weird, like if you're not familiar enough.
Yeah. I know, like when you saw like people used to say curb your dog, and people didn't know what that. Like I remember that being like, what does that mean? Curb your dog.
Here, have some peanut butter beer.
And it meant, like
right. Like, rein them in
or heal your dog. Even that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there are probably people who like, well, fuck, what? Like, no, rein them in. Like keep them,
right. But I do like curve your enthusiasm because it has a whole new like.
So sorry, you enthusiasm reminded me of another one that's not on your list, which is youth in Asia.
Oh, youth in Asia, yes, that is a good one.
Are you in favor of that?
I am actually in favor of youth in Asia.
Yeah, me too. Because well, as much as I'm in favor of youth anywhere, like there might be huge population growth in certain areas where they don't need it, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Asia, and right now we're dealing with a lot of issues in Asia. So we got some political issues going on right now.
Sure.
Separate, because the youths. It's not their fault.
The Utes
did not.
These two Utes.
These two Utes. They did not start this, nor do they want it. Most of them, I assume. I don't know. I don't know what Utes think most of the time.
Yeah. So I guess there's that one on there, and I've heard people say that before.
I actually should have put that on here because I have heard that. Yeah, for sure. Like, I see it sometimes on animal rescue groups and things.
Yeah,
where people are like. What is the best place for youth in Asia?
And you're like, fuck, I don't know, Cambodia?
Yeah, I don't know. But you kind of feel bad, right? Like, because obviously it's a very serious subject.
Yeah, but you're like, I don't know, like Pattaya. That's one of the great beaches in Thailand, I believe. I think youth in Asia would enjoy that a lot.
Probably. And I actually think this is actually a really good point on this. So this brings it some depth. I think texting and like autocorrect and stuff is creating more Eggcorns.
Oh, get the duck out of here.
Yeah, like we're creating more Eggcorns because like I see them now, and I actually wish I had pulled some of them. Like autocorrect problems, but not just that. Like people that think they don't know how to spell something, so they just sound it out, and then
they hope the thing will fix it.
But then it comes across as like youth in Asia because that's the best they can do.
I'm actually amazed sometimes. Like I'll type something in, and then my phone will correct it, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking?" Like, no, I didn't say that. Like are you out of your mind?
No, my phone thinks every time I type "and" that I want to type abs. I never want to type abs.
It's never abs. I'm never talking about abs.
It's never, ever, ever abs.
All she ever thinks about is Thor and Captain America.
Just legit don't.
Just constantly
it's
can
not.
you believe the abs on these guys?
It's not a word I use ever. Actually, just recently, a memory, on Facebook memories that came up where apparently my autocorrect decided and should be SMS. And apparently I posted it. Like this was like 10, 15 years ago. I posted something and it was like something SMS something. And I'm like, well, no.
Oh, yeah. If you ever let it like get a hold of something, then it's like that's what you mean, right? Like, oh my God, yeah, no. It's funny actually because you know that silly joke I was telling you last week about the ostrich.
Yes.
Yes. And that's kind of an eggcorn actually in a way, isn't it? If you think about it.
It is. As is the eggcorn in the song Diane Young by Vampire Weekend. Yes. This is an eggcorn song. You are correct. I mean, it was a purposeful eggcorn. I guess in some ways it could be a malapropism, right? Because it's on purpose.
I guess.
Right?
So I'm gonna tell this dumb joke that I've been telling people because I think it's a funny joke, but secondly, I guess it's kind of an eggcorn. Mm-hmm. So I was reading about this group of emus that somebody had, and one of the emus became bigger than the other, like kept growing and got larger, and then the other emus started shunning it.
Like you do.
Because it was different. It turns out it was ostrich-sized. That's the first time I've been able to tell that without cracking up while I'm trying to tell it.
I do like that it cracks you up so much that ostrich size is so funny to you.
Last week I couldn't get through that joke. I guess I've told it enough times now where I'm finally desensitized.
Well, you typed it to me, which obviously I couldn't see.
I was laughing the whole time. I swear to God, I laughed every time I said ostrich size. I'd start cracking up again. It was that good of a joke to me.
So another funny eggcorn that's very common apparently is feeble position. Like I felt so sick with COVID that I curled up in a feeble position. Again, you get the logic in that, right?
I sure do, but
it obviously is incorrect.
It doesn't even sound like. I mean, how about a futile position or a oh, that's another thing. The futile system.
Oh,
back in the medieval times,
Yeah, the futile system for sure.
Yeah, because it didn't work.
Well, you were correct.
That's why they beheaded the king in France. The futile system didn't work.
That is not untrue. All right, and then I had to end my list on one of my favorites, to be paid in the rears.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you never want to be paid in the rears. But so paid in the rears, obviously, here's the issue with that is when people make that eggcorn mistake, it's usually on some sort of official document.
Legal document. You're like, I want to get paid in the rears. And you're like, oh,
right?
Okay, well.
So autocorrect is one that causes that kind of thing too. The people that
because autocorrect doesn't correct your grammar; it only corrects your spelling.
Right, and if you've one very common autocorrect eggcorn, very common is "I'm sorry for the incontinence." And
you should. Well, I don't know if you should because you can't help it.
You can't help it. But I know more than one very professional person who has sent that to a very professional client.
There was a Simpsons episode where Homer Simpson did a roast of Mr. Burns. Remember this?
Yes,
at his birthday party, I believe. And he told a joke where he said Mr. Burns is so incontinent, and he meant incompetent,
right?
But he was, and then of course the Ramones came out and played "Happy Birthday to You." And then they said, I don't know, they said some swear words or something. And then Mr. Burns said to Smithers, have the Rolling Stones killing Smithers. And Smithers was like, Mr. Burns, and he was like, just do it. And
exactly.
That was probably the last good Simpsons episode.
I want to show real quick, the part of the reason this show came up is because back when I was working a 9-to-5 job that I was unhappy at, and I had to spend a lot of time at my...
probably the only joy you got.
Yes. So I would spend a lot of... For a little while, I would just go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole. Because if my boss caught me looking at Wikipedia, well, I could tell him that I was looking something up, right?
Sure,
so it was fine. It was totally fine. So I spent a lot of time looking at Wikipedia. And then one day I stumbled across the Eggcorn database. And this became... So what I love about this, and the reason this whole topic exists, is on this website are all real examples.
This whole egg topic.
It's an egg topic pregnancy. Actually, egg topic pregnancy would it be because that would make sense too, right? The egg is on top.
It's the topic that we're talking about.
Correct.
Right?
But so what I love about this is they show this spotted in the wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are actual publications, and often very recent, where someone has actually used Eggcorns. So, like, this was a Fox News transcript in 2017.
How surprising.
Right, but our sun will eventually burn out and will hurtle to our intergalactic deaths. One day you're hurtling along,
Sure.
taking it all for granted. Luckily, they got that correct.
Taking it for granted.
Yeah. So that's what I love about the Eggcorn database.
It's kind of like the Gazpacho police almost.
It is exactly like the Gazpacho police, although that was a particularly egregious one because literally nobody else. But so 2017 on CNBC, somebody said they thought Brexit would be the death nail for equities. Like, obviously, we know that that's not correct. It's death nail.
You know what? That's a twist though, because it's like
this
the
nail in the coffin,
right?
Right.
Death nail.
Yes.
Death nail.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, I get that one. Like how that can be.
Which is how Eggcorns happen. This is another great example where people will use at instead of ad when they're using a Latin phrase.
At homonym.
At homonym.
Yeah.
At infinitive.
Don't at me.
Yeah, don't at me, bro. That's the thing, because these are not, this is not an English phrase. So
at all.
Yeah, you're not at alling anything. So yeah, if you rely on at homonym retorts, and I get, in fact, in the case of those, it could even be grammar checks that are accidentally not catching them.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the Hollywood Reporter,
Which is one of the faults I have with, like I said, with using spell check is because spell check it checks spelling, it doesn't check grammar, and so it'll correct you sometimes when when you mean what you meant, right? Like, also spell check does not recognize foreign words, for instance.
Correct.
A lot of times,
yes.
So ad hominem would be a Latin phrase, and you have it set to English language, so it's going to go, okay, well, you mean at homonym.
Right, exactly.
Although, I'm surprised it doesn't say at homonym.
Exactly.
A word that sounds like another word.
Another good one, of course, is at nauseum.
At nauseum.
I mean, clearly, I'm very close to nauseum.
Yes, I'm almost going to puke.
Very nearly nauseum. Teeming, obviously, this one makes sense because it's so close, right? It's now teeming with evil spirits.
Right, they're all they're joining forces.
They're joining forces. It makes sense. So that's very common. Or the other way around, right? So you team up with something. In
the Pittsburgh Steelers used to throw me for a loop when I was a kid, because I thought they were they
stole something.
They steal the ball from you.
Right. That
interception.
makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I hear you. Totally hear you.
Turnovers.
Yeah. So you can go through this whole thing,
but
and
it turns out actually Pittsburgh is famous for creating steel.
Right.
The iron alloy.
Exactly.
And ergo.
They're just literally
they're steel workers. It would make more sense if they were called the Pittsburgh Steel Workers.
Well, right, but it's kind of like the Green Bay Packers, right?
Right.
So
we've long forgot what they're packing. What the fuck are they packing? What did the Green Bay Packers pack?
What did the Green Bay Packers pack? Cheese.
Cheese packers.
They're cheese packers. Actually, I believe that is a derogatory phrase for
cheese packers.
Sure.
It's not like they're packing fudge though, right?
No, we're not going to even talk about that. But yeah, so you can So here's some good ones. Entree. So this
yeah. I mean, it's like a shark coochie board, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is a moment where people are just typing something that because they don't know how to spell it. Uh-huh. And then it just becomes here's one that we've talked about before, right? Voila.
Well, oh God, we were talking about, in the last week, voila. Right?
Yeah.
Because I was complaining, because somebody actually sent me something like that. I can't remember where, I was reading it somewhere. Somebody sent me an email or was a response to something, and somebody said voila, WAHLAH, yes. Voila.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking shitting? It's a voila. is the actual, and it's funny to me because I actually say viola.
I do too.
Sometimes because I'm, which is a malapropism, but I'm doing it on purpose.
Yes.
Because you just rearrange the two vowels in the word, and then it's viola.
Yes, exactly.
And it's funny to me. It's like picking up the phone and saying cello because I have a thing for stringed instruments apparently.
Right. So you've got yourself some peanut butter beer there.
Yeah, I'm drinking the rest of the peanut butter.
Well, mix some of this with it.
Oh, and then
you want to know what's
my
delicious?
chocolate, my peanut butter?
Yeah. You got chocolate, my peanut butter.
You got your peanut butter and my chocolate.
It's really good. Is there more?
Just a little bit. This is a splash.
I could put a little bit in here. So it's like the coolest black and tan.
Mm-hmm.
The peanut butteriest black and tan.
Yeah.
So there, my friends, are Eggcorns. And so what's going to happen now if Eggcorns had not been on your radar before?
Oh, you're going to notice them.
You're going to see them everywhere.
It's going to drive you fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, probably there are things, you probably sent 3 of these in an email in the last 2 weeks. And now you're going, oh my God, that person was so, they said, whatever they said. They said it was a mute point or they,
Exactly. So I do want to bring up, though, the first one, I had the first on the list, but I learned that some things I thought were Eggcorns were actually the right way to do it this week. So, for example, and I looked this up, and this exists even music. There's songs. Another thing coming.
Uh-huh.
We all use that phrase, right?
Yeah.
Everybody uses another thing coming.
You're talking about Judas Priest?
Yeah,
you got another thing coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Apparently, the actual origin of that phrase is another think. And I always thought another think coming was the Eggcorn.
You know what? My phone changes thing to think all the fucking time. I actually did it today. I was talking to Jay, and it said I wanted to say something, or it said something. And
so maybe it knows.
It knows, another think coming.
Yeah,
I can see that because so another think coming is to rethink the thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You gotta study up on it a little more.
So at some point, the Eggcorn becomes the accepted term, and the accepted term becomes the Eggcorn, right?
Well, the English language is a screwy fucking thing.
It really is.
Which is the same reason why I always get on my kids when they start using a word. Oh my God! So kids have. I just recently came out and I've already given up on fucking literally, right? Because kids are
literally everywhere.
They ruin literally already. So the problem with the English language is usage equals correctness.
Yes,
right? So if you say the wrong thing enough times, it becomes right. And that annoys me the fuck out.
And it does. The dictionary will actually incorporate it.
It'll accept that. Yes. That's just how the English language works. Usage equals correctness.
Yes.
So you can be wrong enough fucking times where then it becomes the thing. And so it annoys me when people start doing something the wrong way because I'm like, you're going to make it correct. It's going to be meaningless.
Yeah.
Nothing we say will mean anything. So the kids started saying literally when they meant figuratively, and now literally doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right.
And now I heard recently that kids are saying bamboozled in the wrong way. They're like, oh, you got bamboozled, when they mean I don't know. It's not exactly bamboozled, so I don't know. That's going to become gray now, and you won't be able to bamboozle anybody in the future. Which is sad because that's a fucking excellent word. I love that word.
Bamboozled's a good word.
I love that word. I mean, it was one of my favorite because, there's a Spike Lee movie called Bamboozled, right? Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar that it exists.
It's a great movie. You should see it. It's about the history of what's it about? Perception of race in popular culture.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
Okay.
I do remember that.
It's a very great movie. But also, I think Spike Lee picked it because it was also in a speech that Malcolm X gave, where he was like, "Black people didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on them. They've been hoodwinked, bamboozled."
Right.
It has so much power. When Malcolm X used it, But then I hear kids like use it for bullshit. I'm just like, oh my god, don't fuck up this word for me.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Totally hear that.
So
totally
language is a screwy fucking thing.
So
man.
right, another eggcorn that I just learned this week from research that I always thought the eggcorn was I didn't, and I've always used it this way, and now I know not to, is hone in on something. I'm gonna hone in on a thing. Like I'm creating my skills in that I am honing in on my skill, right? Apparently that's not the correct term. It's home in.
Home in.
I'm
like a homing pigeon.
Like a homing pigeon. Pigeon.
So it's not honing like a knife.
No, exactly, which is what I literally always thought it was. So
we both learned something this week.
Exactly. So yes, it made this be a lesson to everybody that eggcorns are just things we use, and we don't realize it all the time.
That's crazy.
For sure.
Okay.
Also, Matt, I know you're listening. We need some heat. We need some. It's heating? Yeah. Okay. I didn't see you go in the kitchen. We need our Bill has a pizza after the show. So it's very important we eat. Otherwise,
it's very, very
and
important. Pizza is a very important part of the process.
It is indeed. And we're nearing the end of the show, so I want to make sure that we got a Bill has a pizza today. So, all right. So we are nearing the end of the show, and we do not have a mailbag today. But please continue to send in your questions, concerns, stories.
If you have a dumb thing you want us to address,
an eggcorn.
Yeah, any of that kind of shit.
Tell us anything.
Let us know. You can put it in the comments during the show sometimes, or you can just text either one of us during the week or email us, however you want to do it.
Comment later, whatever. Right. We will take your questions and we will answer them.
Tweet it to Kanye West and let him make a thing out of it.
That'd be awesome.
And then I'll read about it.
Also not awesome.
It'll probably take 2 weeks to disseminate back to me, but I will eventually find out if Ye tweeted about it. So
it's fair.
I mean, I'm very fastidiously following the Ye and Pete Davidson drama because I'm fascinated.
I am, I didn't intend to be fascinated, but it's just the sort of thing
my God.
So Kanye West
reels you in.
Yeah, but he needs some legit help.
He needs some serious help. The funny thing about it is when she first started dating Pete, I was like, oh, she has a type. But I mean, it's crazy because I think Pete's getting the help he needs.
Right.
I mean, he's got his own mental health issues, but he's dealing with them. And poor Kanye.
Yeah.
He hasn't hit rock bottom yet. That poor guy.
No, yeah, and you keep expecting it to happen at any moment.
I think the problem is he's surrounded by people who won't. He doesn't have anybody around him who will tell him no.
Everybody validates him.
Yes, exactly. That's what his problem is. He doesn't have a single friend who's a real friend who will say, bro, I'm going to be real with you. You're going to get your kids taken away from you permanently.
Right.
If you don't shut the fuck up. Don't put that on the internet.
Right.
You will lose this custody battle.
Don't do that. Do not do that.
Sorry. So, yeah.
So Kanye West was not our next segment, but
I did get to that apparently.
But we do have things that are extra.
I do,
right?
Yes,
and that is, well, you know what it is.
I know what it is. It's about the price of gas, folks. It's going up. It's going up for a lot of reasons,
which is great because I'm about to go on a road trip. So
awesome! So you're going to pay increased prices. Yeah, I mean, as long as you budget that in.
Yeah, I mean, we know it.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. Here's the thing. So basically, I'm saying I've gotten tired this week of debating with fools on the internet about the the complexities of macroeconomics and commodities prices in a global market. And that is to say, these fools on my car forums, because I'm on some forums about cars, because I like cars,
Sure.
But the car people tend to be they skew very right-wing, and they tend to be like, price of gas is going up. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but sometimes you'll stop at a gas station, and there'll be a little sticker of Joe Biden beside the price of the gas, and they'll say, I did that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's some of that "Let's Go Brandon" bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So my problem with that is, first off, the person who stuck it there, you spent extra fucking money. You're bitching about the price of gas, but you spent $12 of your fucking money to buy stickers to put on the fucking gas pumps. Okay? So shut the fuck up. First off, there.
You're right. You could actually break even if you don't buy the stickers.
You just don't bother with that shit. Secondly, you don't understand the complexities, like I said, of macroeconomics and commodities pricing in a global market. First off, as Americans, we're paying the cheapest price on earth for goddamn petrol. Okay? Like our government subsidizes the price of gas. The fact that you're paying as little as you are is, yeah, I did that. Fucking Joe Biden did, or somebody in the government.
Any president.
Any president. So, first off, the president has very little to do with the fucking price of gas. I say this, last time I paid $5 for gas, W was president.
Yep,
okay?
yep, absolutely, 100%.
And I didn't blame him at the time either, because you know what our problem was? Our problem was dependence on a fucking finite resource that we have to pipe in from somewhere else. Two, we have one fucking refinery in the whole goddamn country, and it's in the Gulf Coast.
Right.
And you have to wait for that. It has to go there, be dealt with, and then get piped to the rest of the country. Okay, so that's a fucking problem in itself. Like that's 90% of the logistics issues with it is that bullshit. Thirdly, it's just you got other parties at play. You got OPEC, which is 95% Arabs, and then Venezuela. All of these countries not friendly to the U.S. really, or whatever. We're adversarial at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
But also they're trying to make a buck, and honestly their prices have been very low since the pandemic started. So now they finally got a reason to fucking bilk you, and they're gonna take it. Well, they're gonna take it, and also there are American companies that import, export, refine the oil.
Oil stocks are still doing great.
Right.
And you know why?
Yeah, because the CEO of Exxon is going to get his fucking bonus this year.
Exactly.
And do you think Joe Biden called that guy up and said, "Hey, I'm going to make you a rich motherfucker"?
Well, right. That's exactly the point. The person that is least responsible for oil prices is the current sitting president.
Right. And that would be the case if Trump was still
president.
It doesn't matter.
Current sitting president.
Whoever the fucking president is, the price of gas ain't got dick to do with that guy. Okay? Oil goes up, oil goes down. And here's what I'll tell you. Something fucking goes on in the world, the price of oil goes up immediately.
Yeah, no, there's a land war literally in Asia right now. That is but
shit, they announced that shit, and 15 minutes later, the price of gas was up.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, when that war ends, and suddenly supply problems stop, it won't happen immediately.
No, it won't.
It'll take a month and a half or more for the price to go back down, because they're going to bilk that shit for a minute.
Yes.
Right? Because the CEO of Exxon has got to make his goddamn bonus.
Yeah. No, I had a friend recently tell me, because apparently there was a gas station up the road here that was out. They had the bags over there was no gas.
Yeah.
Right? And he tells me, he's like, well, I hope when you're traveling you don't have this gas problem, blah, blah, blah. Because, the gas was out. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, it happens. And he's like, well, every time that happens, it's a bigger... I'm like, tell me one time in your entire life that you have literally not been able to get gas, ever, at all.
Right, for more than 2 days.
For more than, a day or two.
A day or two.
Tell me one time where it was just impossible, we had to switch to horse and carriage. Just give me an example. Because he's like, what? Once it does that, it doesn't go. I'm like, no. It's not like they're not going to get gas. They're going to get gas again. It just might be inconvenient for a day or two.
Right.
I promise.
So, that's my spiel about that whole fucking thing. I'm
yeah.
just tired of, oh my God, it's just very complex, and people want simple fucking answers. They're like, that guy, you guys elected that guy. Well, I hope you're fucking happy. Well, I am fucking happy, actually, because you know what I do? I drive a fucking car that gets 38 miles per gallon. At 98 miles per, I don't drive conservatively. I fucking floor it. I drive a sports car and I floor it everywhere I go. I can drive 80 miles an hour to fucking work. And you know what? I get 38 miles per gallon.
And you know why you do that? Because various administrations have put in laws about how car manufacturers make cars to more efficiently process gas.
Well, that being said, I had a car back in 1989 that got the same gas mileage because it turns out very small cars with very small engines don't like. Here's the thing: the less your car weighs, the less gas it has to use to move.
I mean, that just seemed like physics. Like that just seemed.
This is one of those things. I'm also on car forums, and like, so there's the people who drive the big VA cars are always like, there's no replacement for displacement. And what they mean is like nothing's ever as fast as a VA is what they're trying to say. And I'm like, well, I say there's no replacement for power to weight ratio, which is to say the lighter your car is, the less fucking engine it needs in order to go fast. I drive a car that has a 2-liter engine. And I fucking go 80 miles an hour, as I said, and I'm not joking. I fucking go 80 miles an hour.
I know.
You know, I go 80 miles an hour everywhere I go. I cross town, I go 80 miles an hour, okay? And I get 38 miles per gallon in this tiny-ass car because it is a tiny-ass car. It literally, I can park it in the back of your truck.
It's true.
I can put it on the bed of your Dodge pickup. And
That's true.
And I do that on the way to work sometimes, and that's how I save gas.
Speaking of which, I mean, we didn't really talk about the Midwest here, but you know where Dodge cars are made, right?
Where? Somewhere in Detroit. To be.
Well, yeah, I felt that we hadn't used the graphic for
I'm
the
sure
entire show.
Actually, they're made in Mexico or something.
Yeah, they're not anymore. They used to be made in Michigan. There's a song, right? If you're from Michigan, you know this song because the song is that car made in Michigan? Yes, it was. Is that car made in Michigan? Yes, it was. Yeah, so
it was.
You know that, or yes, was that car? Yeah, I don't know. Either way,
they made 2 Fords in Michigan now?
Yeah, I don't actually know.
I passed 2 car plants on my way to the Gulf Coast. Actually,
oh yeah,
the Kia plant and the Hyundai plant, both built in the South in America.
Yeah, so they're more American cars than Chrysler.
The Camry is made in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Chrysler is a German company, right?
Exactly, Daimler or something.
Yeah,
right.
Daimler Chrysler. Yep.
Actually, sorry, no, they're no longer owned by Daimler. I think Fiat bought.
Yeah, they did actually, but I
fix it again, Tony.
That's true. I specifically remember when Daimler bought Chrysler because we were still in Michigan at the time, and it was a huge deal.
Oh right, yeah, there was actually they made a brief for just a moment. I'm going off track for a second. We're going way long. Sorry. They made a car. What was that fucking thing called? But it looked like a little Porsche. It was like it had a fastback, like a Porsche, and it had like a little pop-up spoiler. I can't remember what the fucking thing's called now. If you can find one used now, actually they're a really good deal though because it's basically the Crossfire.
Oh yeah, the Crossfire. Those things are fucking awesome.
It's a fucking Mercedes sports car.
I love those things.
But it's the price of a Dodge.
Yeah.
And if you can find one used, they're a hella good deal. Yeah. You should buy it.
I remember the Crossfires. I loved them. I had a friend whose father was part of the engineering team and had a Crossfire like off the line.
Yeah.
And it was sweet.
It's apparently like it's the best deal since Pontiac bought a Toyota Corolla wagon and rebranded it, and you could get those for like $3,000 less than you could get the Corolla wagon.
Right.
I can't remember what that one was called either, but it was a good deal. Sometimes if you know about rebrands, well, they should have a fucking show about that one day.
Could it be any rebrand?
Yeah, any like facelift rebrand type car. We should do a show about it.
We can do
anyway.
That.
Yeah, we should probably close out the show.
Yeah, we should probably because we're 8 minutes over. We need our pizza. So why don't you take us away?
Okay. Bill's opinions are produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless Laura agreed with him, in which case they're both their opinion, and vice versa. And anyhow, they're definitely not the opinion of our sponsors who don't pay us a fucking dime yet. But if you want to pay us a dime, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be happy to take your damn money. Probably depending on what you're doing. I mean, if it's something
if it's something illegal, we're not going to take your damn money.
Not necessarily illegal. I mean, it could also just be like unethical. We might have disagreements, but we're currently not. We're not advertising for anybody unethical right now.
We're not soliciting for unethical.
Right.
We're not.
And even then, it might just depend on how much. We've all got our price.
Yeah.
Anyways. What was I getting at? Be sure to like and subscribe if you're on Facebook,
yes,
YouTube. I don't know how they work. One of them, follow us Follow us on Facebook. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave us a comment on either one. Send us some emails. Ask us a question. We'll try and put it on the air. It'll at least wind up as things that are extra if it's not a full show. And and tune back in what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes, for a show. I actually meant to look up what that topic of what the show was, and I forgot.
It'll be about some damn thing. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I don't remember. We have a content plan through like May, so we already know what it'll be. I just don't remember what it is.
She has it written down somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
I am strangely organized. So yes, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye, everybody, and talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
All right.